because each and every year we have a huge event called Salute To Champions. This is our 8th year that we're having. We have 9 unbelievable African-American
Black History Month is an integral part
here.
of our nation's tradition, in which we continue to recognize and promote positive, impactful individuals. The Sports Shop with Reese and Kmac, Salute to Champions, would like to recognize this individual for their contribution.
Oh, man. So, you heard the candidate that they were referring to as this particular candidate right here. He is been here many, many times, been a big supporter of the Sports Shop. He's attorney Gregory R. Williams. Congratulations, Greg. How you doing, man?
I'm humble. I'm here. I'm just humble and thankful.
Well, I know it's it's a situation where when you work with people, then you turn around and find out how they feel about you. That's in a positive way. That's a good thing, huh? Right.
This is a very, very rewarding experience, man.
So you attended Salute To Champions. Matter of fact, your foundation was part of Salute To Champions back in the past. But let's talk about Gregory Williams himself. So I didn't realize. So you was a hooper. You went to UNCG,
right?
And you played basketball there, and it's one of those things where. Pretty good player. I mean, most improved. I'm reading this now because I didn't know all this. Most improved. He was a team captain. What prepared you to go to UNCG?
So funny story. I went to high school, South Brunswick High School, down in Brunswick County, and going to individual skills camps was not a big thing. Like the big camps, like ABCD camp,
right.
Prep Stars, things like that. People in my area really didn't do that. So a lot of our players didn't get a lot of notoriety. So funny thing, my senior year, I actually got my looks from coaches coming to see other players.
I had a very similar story to that too as well. Go ahead.
Yeah,
so I understand.
Yeah. So long story short, coach was coming to watch a big Preston McGriff, 6'9", player for us. Went to UNCW. And another one of my teammates, Carl Parker, ended up going to William & Mary. The William & Mary coach actually told the UNCG coach,
about
Mike DeMint, about me. Okay. And then that's how I ended up there.
Okay, wow.
And it's interesting. I was reading Jordan's book, The Life. And in his book, he talked about his first foray into the national camps.
Yeah.
And he was the first one from our area to go. And he went.
That's right, because y'all real close
Wilmington
together.
is 20 minutes from Bolivia.
Okay.
But he was nervous before going because he didn't know how he would compare.
Okay.
So he showed out, and went back and told Kenny Gaddison, all the Clyde Simmons, all the other guys about, guys, we're just as good as everybody else. And then the next year,
Kenny Gaddison's from
Wilmington, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize
then
that.
they went to camp the next year.
Okay.
And then the rest is history. A couple of NBA guys and NFL guys, but that was the journey for me.
Wow.
Well, let's continue to talk about your journey from there to now. 10 years owning your own?
Yes. We celebrated our 10th year. Thank you. Our 10th year, and that was a dream as well, a childhood dream. That got deferred. I played basketball in college, graduated, and did everything in the world but pursue that dream.
Wow.
Did everything I could to kind of get away from it. Then I finally, the stars just aligned. God fixed it.
Yeah.
Fixed the path and put me in contact with Greg Clinton at the North Carolina Central School of Law for a completely unrelated issue. And then we get to talk, and he said, hey, you ever thought about going to law school? And I was like, well, yeah, since I was a kid.
Wow.
So he takes me on a tour, and that's kind of where it started. So 15 years after graduating from undergrad, I went back and went to law school.
Real quickly, I want to interject a couple. In between that time, you was in financial services in that space. But then, believe it or not, this guy was actually a referee for the National Basketball Association. Think about that.
Yeah,
I mean, just think about that, though.
Wow.
I'm actually watching Summer League and go.
I mean, this dude, the NBA Summer League, the Development League, all that. He was on TV. I mean, they had a little special little thing on it. I can't remember what it was. You may remember, but my point is that, man, you've achieved in various aspects of life. So, congratulations for that, man. That's significant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking to our first interview with one of our 2025 Salute to Champions Award recipient, Gregory Reynald Williams. Yeah, I can't leave that R out. I can't leave that R out.
Enunciation and all.
I know.
I
can't leave that R out. But we do this every year. Of course, we've been doing it for quite some time, and one of the things that I like to do is to actually get into the background of some of the recipients, even people we see each and every day. Maybe we don't know the whole story, right? Maybe we don't understand. Talk about where your passion comes from, because I got another story about later on about that billboard you have. We're gonna talk about that. That billboard you have on the highway. We'll talk about that at a later date. But talk about where your passion comes from. Representing people, being in a fight for people. What is it that you learned coming out of law school, but now actually practicing and touching so many lives? What's the one thing that you think that you learned the most, that you took away from your role?
Well, it's a duty and obligation that I never take lightly.
Yeah.
When someone comes to you, they're bringing their life to you.
Right.
They're literally putting some aspect of their life in your hands. Because when I start a case with the client, whatever it is, that portion of their life can't move forward until we resolve what we're working on.
Wow. You don't think about it like that.
Huh?
You don't think about it like that.
Right. I see it a ton in personal injury instances where people are, there's one set of stresses and emotional issues up until the resolution of the case, and then you see a completely different person. Yeah. Once the case is resolved. So whatever it is, I try to keep that in mind, that this is some portion of this person's life that they're entrusting to me,
right,
to help guide them through. So that's been one of the biggest takeaways, and what gives me the privilege to operate in this capacity as an attorney.
I love it. So in speaking on that, so as you come out, what's probably been one of the most surprising things that you've seen, being in court, outside of court, where you just probably take a step back and say, man, never thought I'd see that.
How much time do we have?
I can only imagine.
It kind of varies, from seeing people that start as friends.
Ooh,
that go into business together, and then that friendship turns into something else.
Oh, wow.
Or people that go into things thinking they have a mutual understanding. Oh, I don't need to consider these formalities because I'm dealing with this person I've known.
Right.
And then it, goes sideways. Right. Seeing families kind of torn apart because the glue passes away and they start fighting over assets. Or a judge trying to invalidate 60,000 votes for people so they can win the election.
And then they tell you that, you can't vote. You're like, what changed the last 32 years?
Right, okay. right. So there's the law is kind of an ever-changing, ever-evolving arena. So it's full of surprises every day.
So we are talking to one of our Salute to Champions 2025 class, Gregory
The tallest
Williams.
class we ever going to have.
Tall, literally, right?
Trust me, literally. You're going to find out later what I mean by that.
She throwing up.
Maybe we should lower the stage. That they're going to come up.
You're going to look really short. I'm just telling you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go to a whole different type of question as I review all of your credentials and things like that. But talk about the importance of internship, because you're the first person to have more internships than I did, I think. But I always stress the importance of that and how that not only directs your path, but it builds a network that you don't ordinarily have right out of college without, a job. But you've had a lot of internships that have led, I'm sure, to a lot of great business relationships and where you are now. But if you could stress the importance of that, because we have parents that have teenagers, and then we have young people that listen to us on the air. But just talk a little bit about the importance of why you chose to do that.
That's a great question. Growing up, I used to read a lot of self-help, motivational type books in college and whatnot. And one of the things that I would always read, and one of the themes I would always come across, is you have to be willing to do something, work for free.
That's right.
In order to make money at some point. I couldn't connect those dots for a long time. And then I realized
No,
that
you have to, yeah.
once I was in the grind of law school, being willing to work for free. And if you can do something for free, that means you have passion.
That's right.
And that'll sustain you going forward. And, funny story, Sherrod, I worried the hell out of Sherrod. He couldn't get his workout in. I see him at the gym like, Sherrod, what's up, man? And he took a shot on me, gave me an internship. I worked for, several other attorneys, and I kind of got to see different sides of the practice and kind of what I liked, what I didn't like. But that's a crucial thing. And then you brought up the refereeing. In my early stages of that, I can't tell you how many hours I spent on the court with the guys I was coming up with. And we would go work a game anywhere. We did camps at Presbyterian. We're on the court 13, 14 hours a day for 5-10 hours a game just to get the experience. And then it kind of came full circle with all the books I read about being able to do something for free. So the internship, apprenticeship. So if you can't do it for free, then you can't do it for a fee.
That's right.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's good. That's powerful right there.
Yeah, it's so much to discuss in some little time. But I got a couple quick back-to-back questions. One is that who was those one or two people that you can identify and say, well, because of them, I'm sitting here. And you guys reading my bio and learn all about me. Who's those two people you can somewhat give a shout out to?
Well, I gotta say my mom and dad.
Yeah,
Gregory and Dale Williams. They raised me to dream. They never got in the way of my dreams. They encouraged them, even when I was willing to crash out in pursuit of my dream. They didn't connect with that for a while, but once it worked out, they was like, okay, I see what you were doing.
Yeah.
And then here professionally, G. Allen is
okay.
G. Allen, Michelle King Barrow. Those are some people that I connected with early on when I got here.
I met you through G. Allen. I think about it.
I think I met everybody in the triangle through Michelle or G. Allen. So that was a very prosperous relationship. We're still, friends to this day. I talked to him a couple of days ago. So he's been a very instrumental. I met a lot of the attorneys I know. James Rogers is another one. I met him through Michelle at her early golf tournament.
Okay.
And he and I connected, and so he's been into it as well.
And it's funny you mentioned the golf tournament because I'll be remiss if I don't identify the fact that your color, your tie you have on is very similar to your color of your foundation and things that you rock with.
Caught that?
Yeah, I caught that, yeah. On a serious note, obviously everybody motivates you. I know one individual who's no longer with us definitely motivates you each and every day. And you have a foundation associated with her. Real quick, let's talk about that. Really.
My daughter Jillian, fatherhood was the best thing that ever happened to me. She passed away through a brain tumor, so we set up a foundation to raise money for pediatric cancer research, and as well as enriching the lives of children that are kind of going through that process and their families. That's a burning motivation. That's why we do the Jillian's Ray Memorial Golf Tournament every year. We've donated thousands of dollars to charities and St. Baldrick's and other fundraisers, Duke Cancer Hospital. So that's an ongoing motivation. People, you go through tragedies and you wonder why, but man's meaning of life is to be worthy of your struggle. Find meaning in your suffering and then project it forward and help someone else through that time. So that's what I strive to do going forward.
And man, we as a committee and others, we recognize that. We're so happy to have you be part of this class. You exemplified that all across the board, and we're so happy to have you rocking with us. And again, next week we're going to be honoring you and 8 others in a more formal way. But this is congratulations, man, for hanging out with us. This is special.
I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to put this on my bio.
I wouldn't have come people offices like over the few years they got them up on the wall, man.
It's gonna be there, baby.
DR Reese, Kmac, Pam, and GRW, our recipient.